when I think I've gotten into, this is like a few months back, and people were getting into it with you about polyamory, and you just say whatever I don't know how much you look at your replies, but you say whatever the hell you want, which I enjoy. What is it, that thing that you said that you felt, that was the really controversial thing you said, that you had sex with 6 people in like a day and that you felt awesome? Yeah, that kind of stuff is like total rage bait, which I enjoy very much. But
which is surprising. I did not predict people would be so upset about that.
So it's what I think is going on. I'm just going to psychoanalyze people momentarily. Is like, people are disgusted and horrified by casual sex, or they're disgusted by whatever the lack of sacredness of sex. And then when you ask them to rationalize that, they fall back on, well, being promiscuous is a luxury belief. It's something that you can do because you're smart. You can be slutty without getting pregnant and having a bunch of kids out of wedlock and being destitute and catching a bunch of sexually transmitted diseases and not having anyone who ever loves you and having your whole life be a wreck. But not everybody could do that. So when you endorse these things, you're hurting other people.
Is this their actual argument, or like what you assume the argument would be?
No, this is what I see. You is the starting point. You gross is the starting point. And then when you ask somebody to rationalize, why is it important for you to flame Ayla about whatever her penis preferences are? Then they'll say, I'm doing it to like defend the culture, or I'm doing it because somebody might choose Ayla as a role model and also become a slut, right?
Can you imagine if we had the same argument but for housewives? Like, you see somebody's like talks about, being deeply in love with their partner, their husband, and having 3 babies, and you're like, you're flaming them for it because like maybe some other woman would see that and she would become a housewife and not actually like it. Like, maybe she just doesn't have the constitution, like she wouldn't be a good mom. Like, we can't normalize housewifery.
But an unhappy housewife,
I just feel like it's so misguided, like,
because it's for the greater good, Ayla.
I just wish people had an attitude of like I could see the concern, but if I were actually concerned about something like that, I would be like, hey, I'm so happy that you like this, but for the other people looking at it, I just want you to know that like not everybody likes this lifestyle. Like, there's a good chance you might try it and decide that it's not for you and it's like not great, and you should be, just don't take this endorsement as applying to all women. Like, that's what I would consider to be like the rational response if you're actually coming from that kind of perspective.
And this is one thing I think is good about, there's like family YouTube channels, and there's whatever trad wives on TikTok, and there's people who have Instagrams and stuff. And if you want to make doing a traditional lifestyle look interesting, glamorous, and fulfilling, I think Simone does this actually. She makes traditional, I mean, she's obviously not that traditional. Simone Collins, who I'll be interviewing, and Malcolm is on, Malcolm Collins has done an Aporia interview as well. But I think that that's good, because I do think that the people who've been glamorous online have been disproportionately sluts, right?
Yes. I mean, my guess is it's like sort of a swing back. Yeah. Like, I kind of have this, so I have this around polyamory too. So sometimes I have some people who are like, hey, I felt kind of like socially pressured into being poly, like polyamory was glamorized for me, and then I found out that it really wasn't right for me. And like, people kind of like talk in ways that are slightly snide about monogamous people, like, oh, I'm poly because I like giving my partner freedom, which sort of implies that monogamous people don't. And they're like, this is really hard. I'm like, I'm very sympathetic. I believe these people. I think this is true. Like, if you're around a polyculture, like, that you might be subjected to these kind of social influences. But it's just like, some part of me is just so like, also this just seems unfair, because like everything else, just literally everything else, so all of culture for all of history and time, all of our media has been really upholding the status quo, and like the polyamory is like a reaction to it. And like just because it's a reaction, that doesn't justify pressuring people. But like, also I'm like, okay, I kind of see why you would have an incentive to glamorize a thing if it's like a reaction to like this massive oppressive structure that you're trying to be expressive against. I can kind of be a little sympathetic to it. And I kind of feel this way about like being slutty. Like, yeah, it's glamorized. Yeah, of course it's fucking glamorized. Like, it has to be. I feel like people just sort of totally not aware of the degree that like normal sexual stuff is just ingrained in the culture. They only see the like the normalization of the alternative stuff because it's not part of their, it's like it's different because it's different. It looks like pressure, it looks like a social change that they're really scared of, but like just complete ignorance to the amount that they're behind this giant force. This they're part of like an army of social pressure on the other side, but they can't see it because their backs are turned to it. And it just this
Wow.
applies for any sort of deviant lifestyle. Like it's not just polyamory or sluttiness. I think this applies to trans issues too. I think
Hmm.
trans gets a lot of unfair shit because they're just the different minor thing.